Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared Podcast, home of people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, Austin Creed. I want to welcome you into the show. My friends, I want to ask you a question. This is a question that I've had to ask myself a number of times. And it's this: what scares you the most? What scares you? Because I've studied this to a little bit of an extent. When I study, I don't mean I went to college for it. What I mean is I talk to people in the streets. I observe. I do a lot of social media reconnaissance because I'm on there quite a bit. You know, with this show and with editing and all that kind of stuff, I spend a decent amount of time on social media. And I also like to read books. And Napoleon Hill, if you've listened to me at all, you'll know I love Napoleon Hill. I believe him to be a prophet of sorts. But my friends, there were 6 fears that were really highlighted by Napoleon Hill. And one of them was, fear of criticism, old age, poverty, loss of love, ill health, and death. And my friends, that brought me to asking myself a question that I've been wrestling with ever since. And it's, what do I fear in life? Because fear holds you back, by the way. Fear does not benefit you. It can give you a little kick in the pants, but living in fear will only make you tend towards emotional decisions. It will lead you down a path of making short-term focused decisions instead of long-term focused decisions. So my friends, that's why I ask you, what do you fear the most? What do you fear the most out of the 6 things that I gave you? Poverty, ill health, loss of love, old age, death. There was one more. Did I miss one? Criticism. That was the last one. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I have a hard time with criticism. I love to get it, by the way, because I can always do better. Everybody can always do better. There's no question about it. But the two, if you've read Napoleon Hill, if you haven't, I recommend you listen to Outwitting the Devil. It really helped inspire me to write my book, Biblical Bachelor. But the reason I tell you that is the devil. So the whole premise of the book, if you haven't read it, is Napoleon Hill and is kind of the insert character, and he's interviewing the devil. And the devil he's not what you would expect. If you're a religious person, you probably have this version of the devil in your head, and it's not true. It's not accurate as defined by Napoleon Hill and in his book. He defines himself as the negative portion of the atom, the electron, if you will. And the 6 fears he said he uses the most is the ones I just gave you. But the 2 that were most important was poverty and death. Because poverty tends to make people not think. It puts them in survival mode. So he wants you to not collect riches, because riches will allow you to have the freedom to think. And everyone fears death to an extent. Either they fear death itself, or they fear the unknown that accompanies death. I'm telling you, if this doesn't fascinate you, I don't know what does. Probably some 304, some porn star shaking her behind, or on Twitter, or on Instagram, or on Snapchat, or TikTok, probably. But my friends, I really want you to ask yourself what you fear the most, because fear holds you back. Fear is something that puts you on the defensive when you should be on the offense in life, because your dreams won't chase you back. I hate to tell you, your dreams are not going to chase you back. So if you're not chasing a dream, if you're not out here trying to build something and become somebody, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying your life will then hold no meaning at all. I'm just telling you, you're leaving a lot on the table, and more than likely it's because you fear something. Fear is going to hold you back, and it's going to cripple you. It's going to cripple your creativity. It's going to stifle your ambition, and it's going to hold you prisoner, hold you hostage from achieving what you could be achieving. Last night, I walked you through, I was standing outside a house that I want to buy, not now, but at some point soon, in the next 5 to 10 years. And I did that not to flex or brag. I did that because I want to show you need to have a plan. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail, and that is where fear will come in. Fear will fill the gap between certainty and direction. It will wiggle its way in to your life, and it will cause you to be uncomfortable, unsettled, rattled, not confident in your next steps. And that will only lead you to drifting. Drifting is another term created by Napoleon Hill. Drifting is the person who has opinions on everything but researches nothing. The person who goes out and tries everything but is an expert at nothing. The person who doesn't know what they want, but they're sure darn know what they don't want. You catch what are you picking up what I'm putting down, ladies and gentlemen? In other words, they are not going to ever win because they're losing at every turn. They're so focused on not losing that they have no capacity to win. I know that may not make any sense. It may sound like those two things are synonymous, not losing and winning, but you're wrong. That's not how it works. And there's no simple one way for the modern man. There isn't. That's why I preach having your own personal philosophy. That's why I want you to understand that if you want to go the traditional route, you can. However, there are multiple ways you can go about your life. And there's no reason for you not to want to develop your own way of going through the world. If you can't find a path that is working for you, there is nothing wrong with making your own path. Being a trailblazer, there is nothing wrong with that. You just need to have the courage to be a trailblazer. But that's why sheep aren't trailblazers. They always follow the beaten path. That is why you must become a trailblazer. You have to decide whether you want to become like everyone else and get the results that everybody else is getting, or if you want to throw aside your fear and embrace fortune. It's a mindset you must adopt first. If you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be a billionaire as I do, you have to have the mindset that is compatible with it. You can't live paycheck to paycheck. You have to give more than you get. You have to understand how wealth works. Now, I'm not here to give you financial advice, okay? I'm not an expert in that regard. But you need to understand that fear is going to hold you back. For example, let's say if you want to kind of do what I do, you want to talk about things, you want to express life, you want to help people, you want to be a commentator, that window is closing. But you need to believe in yourself, because if you don't, that is living in fear. That is an example of exactly what I'm talking about. You are living in fear. Fear that you can't, fear of failure, fear of criticism. That is where you are at. If you're in life if part of your life is to be liked, I'm sorry, but you're going to be really upset. You're going to be in a really tough spot. My friends, I really want you to genuflect. I want you to look at your life. And I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you fear? What is it that's holding you back from achieving whatever it is you want to achieve? And if you don't even know what you want to achieve, well, then what's holding you back from that? Is it you don't think you could do it? You don't think you have the capacity to seize what it is that you want? Do you think that it's not possible for you to have what it is you've set your mind upon? Well, my friends, that is fear. Again, for the win. That is what fear does to you. It paralyzes you. It cripples you. And I don't want you to be crippled. I want you to be a conqueror. But again, You have to understand what is holding you back. It was Napoleon Bonaparte. I don't know what it is. Napoleon Hill, Napoleon Bonaparte, they're all great. But Napoleon Bonaparte was the one who said, it is not an competent enemy you must fear, but rather an incompetent ally. That is who you must fear above all else. And I'm inclined to agree with that, personally. I'm very inclined to agree with that. It is the incompetent ally who you must fear. And too often, the incompetent ally is you. You are your own worst enemy and sometimes the most incompetent ally. And I don't want that to be you. I want you to win. I want you to never be held back by your own self. Because trust me when I tell you this, there's enough people out here to compete with that at the end of the day, you have to be on your own team. You have to stand by your own side and get your own back. Have to. Otherwise, what is someone else going to do that? That's why I never understood this notion of in relationships for companionship. They want someone to have their back, someone to be with them and live life with them. I never got that. You know, maybe I'm telling you a little too much about myself, but I'll do it anyways. I'll do it anyway because I want to help you. I'll do it anyways. I don't tend to like most people, not because people are bad. I'm not talking about you personally. I don't know you, most likely. If I do, then I'm not talking about you. The problem is I just find most people to be terrible. Most people just want to use you as much as possible for their own self-interest. I've just found that to be true. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with that, I just find it distasteful, especially when it comes down to, I love to help people. Now, does that mean that I don't want to make money? No. Does that mean that I don't want to make a good living? No. That means that I don't want to make my living off the backs of other people. I want to help people and I want people to win alongside me. That is what I want. I don't want to be someone who just shafts people over. I don't want to be a Scrooge. That is not who I want to be. And I hope that's not who you want to be. I hope you want to give and give and give. Because let me tell you, if you're out here taking and taking and taking, you're hustling completely in reverse. Completely hustling backwards. Because if you do not give, you cannot get. If you do not plant the seed, you cannot hope to reap the crop. That is how it works, my friends. But too many people, they don't understand that. And I don't want you to be normal. I want you to be extraordinary. I want you to be someone who will be a winner, not someone who's going to lose, who's going to harbor resentment, who's going to be a hater. I don't want any of that for you. I want you to not let fear hold you back. I don't want the opinions of other people to hold you back. I don't want fear of failure in particular to hold you back. Held me back for way too long. I gotta tell you the truth. I'll put it all on the line. Put it all out on the line. Fear of failure held me back for a long time. I would have started the show earlier. I wanted to be a podcaster, a self-help guy. I loved consuming it. I loved living it. But I wanted to help other people, but I never felt I was worthy. I thought to myself that I had to be a millionaire to talk about becoming a millionaire. I thought I had to be that guy who had already crossed the finish line at 50 or 60 years old to actually talk about these things, but it's not true. The journey is what is important. The destination is equally important, but the journey is how you get there. And that's the hardest part. And that is why it is my fervent wish that you maximize your journey and you don't hate the journey. Fearing the journey and the complications that it holds can hold you back. And I really don't want that to happen to you. I sincerely don't. Because the journey is what you must fall in love with. Because trust me, once you reach the destination you want to get to, if you don't love the journey, the idea of starting a new journey, it's going to seem near impossible. But it should be exciting. You should love it, not loathe it. My friends, I really want you to and I'm not trying to tell you what to do. This is just me encouraging and wanting to help you. I encourage you to reflect in yourself, ask what it is you fear, what could maybe be holding you back, and to address that so that it's no longer in your way. My friends, stay vigilant, stay informed, and for God's sakes, please question everything that comes your way. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you have a good night full of safe fun, I guess. Well, I don't know. I might do another show because I'll probably be up late. We'll have to see. But my friends, enjoy your night. I look forward to seeing you next year in 2024. The year of the dragon. Well, I guess technically it starts in February. But the year of the dragon, we're going to come out here and we're going to do great. I'm out. Peace.